everybody. Welcome into Farm Cooking with Nan. Today we're going to be making I haven't made these in a while. It's probably been a few years, probably 3 or 4 years since I made them. And I had run up on a recipe, and I'm telling you, I write a recipe on anything. Look, the color is almost gone on the back of an old receipt at years and years and years ago. But you know what? I'd write a recipe on anything when I want it. A friend of mine that used to go to church with me, she's a teacher, and one day she brought them to a little gathering, which has been years and years and years ago, probably 15 years ago, 20 years ago. She brought them to a gathering at church. I just loved them. And my son just took a fit over them. And so I thought, that's something. She said, it's so easy. So let's get cracking, okay? Betty Crocker is okay. It's not my favorite, but it's coming up on its expiration date, which is in May. So I just used a Devil's Food cake. Devil's Food because that's what I had in my pantry. And I've used it, last time I used it, the last few times, I used a German chocolate, I think it was a German chocolate. Yeah, it was German chocolate that I used before. So first thing I'm going to do, but you can use a German chocolate, or you can use chocolate. You can use this, or you can use a butter recipe and have a totally different flavor. So this is our favorite. It's just the chocolate one. I know I'm rattling today. Got my oven preheating to 300 degrees. We're going to bake this about 50 minutes whenever it's time. But right now, we're just going to put 1 box of the cake mix. You can use German chocolate, but I'm using Devil's Food cake. And we're going to put 1 stick of softened butter. And I just popped this in the microwave right in its little wrapper. So I know it's going to come right out of there pretty soft. Probably about melted. But I didn't have to dirty anything up. Let me get everything off that wrapper. Then you can save the wrapper to wipe down your pan. That's what I normally do. Save them up and put them in. Save 2 or 3 wrappers up, 4 or 5 wrappers up. Put them in a pan. A Ziploc baggie. And then all you gotta do is use them to grease your pan. But I love my pan coating. I've already got my pan ready. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is put 1 egg. And my eggs, I didn't get to leave them out till they were room temperature, so I warmed them up in some water, some hot water. I like warming them up instead of setting them out and let them get room temperature, and I'll tell you why. Because if you're one of these people that don't like to clean out their bowls and stuff, at least most of the egg white comes out because it's warmed up and it comes out of the shell a lot easier for people that don't do that. I do it anyway. Okay, let me set that right there. Then we're going to mix this up, okay? Let me grab my blender, my little, not blender, but my wait a minute, let me get some of that butter down off the side. Little powdery. Swing it all off my beaters. And then I'm going to save them because I'm going to have to use this again in a minute. Now, I'm going to go ahead and mix this up. I heard my oven that's preheated to 300 degrees. I'm going to make sure I don't have any powder or butter up on the sides of this dish. I'm going to work it on back in there, that little bit of butter that I saw. Make sure there's no, this is pretty stiff, okay? And we're going to, what did I do with my pan? Oh, there it is. I'm gonna roll this out in a 9 by 13 inch pan. Comes right out of there good, doesn't it? Then I'm going to press it into my bottom of my pan. You can use your hands. You can use a spatula. Once I get it pressed in, I might have to use my hands anyway. They're washed and clean. I hope y'all are having a good day today. It's been very chilly here. We're going through a little cold snap again, you know. I always heard the old saying, if March comes in like a lamb, which is gentle, very gentle, then it'll go out like a lion, which will be an aurora in a cold spell or snowing or something like that, you know. So we had a nice, gentle beginning of March, and now we're just getting a cold spell. I was afraid we might get some snow on Sunday, but we didn't. It's just chilly a little bit. Okay, you can see it's pressed in the bottom of that. Then we're going to, in another dish, let me grab my other dish. Laws and mercy. If it's a snake, it'd bite me. Look at here, right there beside of it. And scoop that over there out of the way. Then we're going to do 3 eggs. This is 8 ounces of softened cream cheese, and we're going to do 3 eggs. So, I'll put them down in my box so that I can heat those things up in the, hang on a minute. Heat those things up in the oven, and you can feed them to the, crush them up and feed them to the chickens. And I have people say, Nan, what does that do? Well, you know, my mother used to say it helped their eggs be a little firmer, you know, a little harder, a little bit harder shell on their eggs. So they like it. They get calcium from it. So let me dry that up a minute. We're going to beat that very slow, and then we're going to add in some powdered sugar. Let me wash my beaters. Okay, we've got the 3 eggs, the 8 ounces of softened cream cheese right here. We're going to beat that slowly. Now, I'm going to add 3½ cups of powdered sugar, okay? We're going to cut that down. If you say, well, I don't buy it in a big bag, I buy it in a big bag. But if you don't buy it in a big bag, then just put 1 box, 1 pound box. This all mixed up. And we're going to pour this layer over top of the chocolate layer. Okay, let me grab my little spatula and make sure we've got everything down off the sides of our bowl. Mix that in. Pour it over the entirety of the bowl. I mean, of the pan. This is really simple, a simple dessert, and you cut this into squares, and oh, young'uns, it's so yummy. I know you all have probably made this a million times, and you can use anything. You could take a strawberry cake, you could take an orange cake, you could take any flavor cake you've got and mix it with the same directions as the bottom layer. And you can really, I mean, it's wonderful whenever you use a strawberry or an orange. It's very good. Very, very, very good. I'm going to smooth this out over my bottom layer. Get my little, uh-oh, drop my clip. That's all right. Now we're going to put this in a 300-degree oven, and we're going to let it go for about 50 minutes. So let's pop this in. Okay, we'll see you back in 50 minutes. I just got it out of the oven. It's been in the oven on 300 for 1 hour instead of 50 minutes. When I pulled it out, I thought, doesn't look quite done yet. I didn't check it. You can just see there's a little bit of a jiggle, not much, but it needs to cool down totally before I cut it, okay? So we'll be back when it's time to cut it. Okay, let's show you this sweet piece of chocolate chess bar. Look what, that's one strawberry on top. That's just one strawberry. I think I'm gonna have to make a picture. Okay, let's have a little bite, okay? Let me get my fork here. I'm gonna take my strawberry off there. One strawberry, that big. Oh, Lordy. Well, let's try a bite, okay? So good. If you hadn't made these in a while, like I said, this is an old recipe. I'm sure y'all have already made it. But be sure and make some. Fresh strawberries are so good with this. They're delicious. Well, I just want to tell y'all that I hope that you're resting in the Lord today. I've just been praying lately for peace, peace, peace. And today's been a peaceful day. And definitely just resting in the Lord. I just want to tell y'all how much I love you and how much the good Lord loves you. I hope that you get a chance to make yourself and your family some of these. I'm going to take them and just pop my lid on them there and put them in the refrigerator when I'm finished eating on them today. And they'll be good for days and days. Just keep them in the refrigerator. Remember, you use cream cheese in them. And anytime you're using cream cheese, you need to keep that product or that baked good into the refrigerator. Well, I'm going to go, and I hope to see you next time, Lord willing. And we'll do a different recipe, okay? See you then. Want you to know how much the Lord loves you.